Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Penguino, and we're playing more Asagao Academy. I have a slight beard at the moment. It won't be here next time. This was just because it was a 3-day weekend, and I decided I didn't want to shave for a few days. There. The next night, I was still working as Mai prepared for bed. There we go, not the other way around. Are you not going to sleep? No, I think I need to finish this paper. I want to get it all done tonight. She made a face. For a second, my heart stopped. Did she know what I was planning? Shit. What am I planning? I forgot everything. I still don't know why we need to know the anatomical proportions of Goombas. Goombas. That's hard to say with a lifetime of Goomba training. Yeah, me neither. Thank goodness. Well, don't stay up too late. I won't. She crawled into her bunk and under the covers. In no time, she was fast asleep. Yeah, that's right. I waited for a few minutes to ensure she wouldn't wake up, tapping my pencil idly against my desk. I told her what I was going to do. I hadn't told her what I was going to do. I hadn't told anyone. But going out after curfew wasn't really that big a deal. Okay, that was a bold lie. If I got caught, I would be in serious trouble. But that didn't matter. Satch was spending every day in the library, and the Normal Boots Club was trying to clear our names. Whoa. And in the Normal Boots Club trying to clear our names. There wasn't much I could do to help him there, but surely no one would mind if I did a bit of snooping on my own. When I was finally sure Ma was asleep, I slipped out of our room. I've missed this music. Luckily, I didn't run into anyone on our way out of our dormitory. No one was supposed to be out past 9, so it wasn't a big surprise, but no one was roaming the hallways either. I stepped into the cold night air and took a deep breath. A slight wind blew through the campus, raising goosebumps against my skin. Shivering, I headed towards Poppy Hall. There was no way I'd be let in the club during the day, but at night, my footsteps echoed across the walkways. There wasn't a single soul around me and hardly any light. Since people weren't supposed to be out after dark, the lampposts were few and far in between. I think you can just say far between. If I were attacked, no one would notice. Shaking my head, I sped up. In no time, I made it to the Poppy Hall. I crept into the hallway. A still silence encompassed the entire building. Suddenly, I was seized with a fear I'd never experienced during the day. It was all so quiet, so still, so empty. Now I understood why people thought abandoned schools were haunted. They were creepy as hell. I crept around the corner, past the science lab, and into the back of the building. The Normal Boots Club should be right here. Crap, no! It was locked. Stupid. Of course it would be locked. There's stuff in there people could steal, and of course a teacher would lock it. Now what? Must I go back empty-handed? Stupid Hana, I should have prepared for this. I heard a noise in the distance, and my heart stopped. Footsteps. Someone was coming. Panicked, I searched around myself for a place to hide, but I was in the middle of a hallway with nothing but lockers and windows. I was trapped. Cringing, I closed my eyes. The footsteps came closer. They stopped in front of me. No one said anything. Hesitantly, I opened my eyes. You just stood there with your eyes closed, Hana! Why? How? How was that an acceptable oh. Anyway, Mr. Saitomo? Mr. Saitomo? There we go. He looked past me into the classroom door. Did you forget something? Yes, I left my math book inside. He nodded and pulled out a giant ring of keys. With a flick of his wrist, he motioned me inside. I shifted and he unlocked the door. He pulled the door open and gestured me inside. Hurry up, please. Deciding not to ask, I scurried inside. The clubroom was much the same as I remembered it. I wanted to take a peek around, but now that Mr. Saitomo was here, I decided it was better not to. Still, there was one place I could look. I went to the back of the room where a large metal closet rested. Please don't be locked. It's unlocked! I pulled the door open and looked in. At the top were stacked a few boxes with miscellaneous items. Was that a skull and a crystal ball? Is this a reference? I don't know. Maybe it's just skeletons in the closet? No, it has to be reference to a specific game, specific thing. I don't know what it is. Below where the boots once stood was an empty shelf. I sighed. I was about to leave empty-handed when I remembered I needed a math book. Turning back to the locker, I pulled a random book out of the closet. Their boxes of junk came in handy. I was about to close the door when I noticed something. There was a dent in the bottom of the closet, just under where the boots once stood. But it's made of metal. Was that there before? I kneeled and ran my hand across the dent. Something heavy must have fallen into it to make one this large. Something heavy and angled. Something hard to carry. The boots! Now that I thought of it, the boots were made of solid gold. Of course they would be heavy. Heavy, unwieldy, and hard to carry. Sure. Whoever took them couldn't have taken them far, that was sure. And if they didn't have access to the clubroom in the day, they must have gotten in just the way I did. Or they must have stolen the key themselves. But they would have done it at night, and then there was no way they could carry the boots all that way without getting tired or caught, which meant they were still in Poppy Hall? Miss, are you finished? Yes, sorry, I'm coming. Tucking the book under my arm, I closed the door and headed out the classroom. Mr. Saitomo chaperoned me all the way back to Primrose Hall in a stiff, insulated silence. I wanted to ask him why he was wandering the halls at night, and why he'd let me off, and why he always wore that brown suit. But looking closer at it, the suit was slightly rumpled, and there was a red ascot stuffed in one of the pockets. I looked closer at Mr. Saitomo's face. He looked somewhat flushed. Had he been on a date? Why? If you don't tell, I won't either. He gestured at the book in my hand. I looked down to see a Dungeons and Dragons manual. Ha! What? I won't tell if you don't. He placed a finger on his lips and then turned on his heel and headed back to Poppy Hall. Do the teachers live in Poppy Hall? I guess if it's a one of those schools where you live in it, a boarding school, then the teachers would probably live there too, wouldn't they? All right. Whose book was this? As I climbed the staircase back to my room, my curiosity and excitement began to fade. It's Jared's book. It's Jared's book. I need to angle my mouth at the microphone. Nothing will be picked up. Thankfully, I was able to sneak back in, hide the book, and pop into bed before my so much as moved a muscle. Great, now I really was a thief. Good morning. Hana, are you going to get up or not? I squinted in the early morning light. If you don't hurry up, you'll be late. How long did you work on that essay anyways? Essay? I blinked at her. Whoa, you're really out of it. Don't deal with no sleep, do you? Don't deal well. Come on, get up! She flung my blankets off me. The cold air rushed in around my body and I curled into a tighter ball. You have 15 minutes or I'm leaving without you. I sat up. Memories of the night before rushed back in my head. Mr. Saitomo, the book, and the dent. I got ready for school, speeding through my routine and grabbing something from our mini fridge to tide me over until lunch. Ready to go? Yeah. By the time we made it to Poppy Hall, I felt much less groggy. My hypothesis about the boots came back to me, and without thinking, I mentioned it to Mai. You know, Mai, the boots are made of solid gold. She turned me in surprise. Yeah, so? Where's this coming from? I was just thinking, they'd probably be heavy, right? It would be too hard for someone to sneak them far from where they were taken. You think they're still in Poppy Hall? There was a gasp from behind us. Mai and I rolled around. What? Okay, is it Walid or Walid? Walid? I don't know. Staring at us with wide eyes. Is something wrong? Huh? No, I didn't mean to startle you guys. I just fell asleep.
What?
You fell asleep? You were walking. Yeah, I know. It happens all the time, actually. We just stared at him. He glanced around as if looking for a way out. Well, it was nice running into you guys. I haven't seen you in a while. We should catch up sometime, but I've got to get to class.
Bye.
Bye. Will had walked past, giving us wide berth. Both hands in his pockets. That was really weird. Do you think he heard us? I don't think so. It was really suspicious regardless. I've never heard of Walid falling asleep while walking. Me neither. We looked at each other, an idea forming in the space between us. It wouldn't hurt to check things out a bit, just to make sure, you know? You never can be too careful. Just like that, we agreed. We would wait until everyone was at lunch. Then we'd do a little investigating. Lunchtime came. As everyone kept out of the classroom, Mai and I stayed behind, refusing to make eye contact with anyone. Our hope was that it looked like some kind of protest. The Normal Boots guys, and by extension the entirety of the class, were pretending we didn't exist. Most of our attempts at friendly interaction were completely ignored by the class. The Normal Boots guys got incredibly uncomfortable and just walked away. Well, most of them. Shane would shoot us a dirty look if we even got close to him. Whether they bought it or not, the classroom quickly emptied out, and Mai and I headed to the hallway. Do we even know which one is Walid's? Well, he's a first year, isn't he? He should be outside his classroom. We'll be able to figure it out, and if not, let's just look in all of them. You can't just look in every locker. That's not how this works. That's not how looking in lockers works. We reached the first floor landing and crept along the hallway. Thankfully, nobody was around. They were all engaged in the mad rush to get good food before the cafeteria ran out. We crept around the corner to classroom 1-3. Should be one of these. We walked around the hallway hoping for some kind of sign. Then Mai stopped walking. Oh my gosh! She burst into laughter and pointed ahead of her. Confused, I followed her finger. On one locker in the middle of the left row was completely covered in stickers. Curious, I stepped closer. Images of Walid's face peppered with various words were plastered across the locker. Meme Lord, Balrog the Butts, and other strange sayings were scrawled across each. Balrog is his YouTube username. Oh boy.
What?
You've got to be kidding me. I don't really get it. Once upon a time, a few years ago, back before he even came to the school, Waleed had a bit of a temper. Long story short, someone caught it on camera, uploaded it to the internet. Oh, and the rest is history, as you can see. Okay. I stared at the different images of Waleed's face. This takes dedication. Did he do it or did fans? I honestly couldn't tell you. Anyways, let's get to work. Do you mind standing guard? Right, because she's kleptomaniac. She knows how to break into lockers. I forgot. I thought this was gonna be like hard, difficult, but apparently not. I stepped in the middle of the hallway, alert for any sound or movement from either end of the hall. I fiddled with the handle on the locker, sticking something inside the metal. In a few minutes, the door was open. Where did you learn to do that? I was a rich kid growing up. I had to learn a trick or two just to get out of my house. Your parents didn't let you out of your house when you were growing up? She made a face at me and opened the locker door. What in the name of? I leaned over to see what her shoulder was looking at. Blah. Waleed's locker wasn't empty like mine or Mai's, but there were no books inside. Instead, a litter of Barbie CD-ROM games were split across the top and bottom shelves. And the setter on the hook meant for a jacket or coat was a fluffy pink and white suit. Oh my god, so many references. I wish I knew his channel better so I would get them. And I wish there was a Waleed route so you could get more in-depth into these references and memes. I reached out to touch it. It was soft and there were silken petticoats underneath the shorts. My guess was the ensemble would hit Waleed somewhere in the mid-thigh region and the pants would fluff up like a bonnet. The shirt was sleeveless with gold-painted buttons and zippers trailing off. What is this for?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I've never heard of anything like. Shut the locker door. We've seen something we weren't meant to see. We can't mention this to a soul. Of course not. I don't really get what the big deal is, though. He brought it to his locker, so he must not be so shy about it. I shook her head. You'd be surprised that you can sneak into a locker when nobody's seeing. Without anybody seeing. Should I get the words right? Should I just get the spirit of the sentence? Just gonna keep going. The important thing is that he didn't have the boots, so he's perfectly innocent.
Wow.
Kind of. Let's just go eat lunch. She stalked off, completely unconcerned as to whether I followed her. I ran to catch up. If Wally didn't want people to know, there was no reason we should mention it. It would be pretty hard to explain anyways. When we made it to the cafeteria, we were among the last to get our food. My eyes strayed to Waleed in the hidden block club table. He was chatting happily, completely unconcerned with the odd suit he had in his locker. I felt blood rise to my cheeks, and we locked eyes. I turned away and focused on getting my food. When I had the chance to sit down, I glanced over the hidden block table and noticed Caddy, Ian, and Waleed watching me. I grabbed mine and dragged her out of the cafeteria. I was terrible at keeping secrets. It was better just to avoid the situation entirely. That night, I waited until long after Mai fell asleep to get up again. That sound effect. I changed back to my uniform in the darkness, then snuck out of our room. Waleed hadn't taken the boots, but the look he, Ian, and Caddy gave me at lunch stayed in my mind. It was almost hostile. I didn't understand why. They had no reason to know we were snooping through their things, but it seemed as if it seemed to me they were on the defensive, so it couldn't hurt to check. I ran across the grounds, this time avoiding the streetlights. I wasn't sure what gave me away with Mr. Saitomo, but it couldn't hurt to be more careful. I made it to Poppy Hall and wondered, what gave it away is that you stood still in a place you weren't supposed to be and closed your eyes. That's not how sneaking works. Hana. God. What a fool. I wandered over while Waleed's locker was. Their club room should be around here somewhere. If I remember the hidden block, what would I put inside the club room to indicate that it was where we met? It was hard. They all had such different, distinct personalities, but the loudest of the personalities would probably have their way. Just then, when I walked past the classroom, something pasted on the windows caught my eye. Okay, so there's Youngtown, there's Sub to Youngtown, there's Brutal Moose Ian, who is the most dominant personality in the game, but I don't know if he's the loudest personality. There's Waleed, who's pretty laid back. There's Jeff, who I might describe as the loudest. There's Caddy and Jimmy. Maybe Caddy or Jeff? I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. I tried the door. It was open. I stepped into the room and was immediately hit with the pungent smell of old chicken salad, macaroni and cheese, and chips. Good lord! I couldn't breathe. I struggled to one of the windows and slid it open, gasping in the fresh air. What the hell? Does no one take out the trash in here? I glanced around the room and immediately locked eyes with a face on the wall. Waleed? A giant version of Waleed's face was watching me from the wall next to the door. I shivered. I do not like it in here. I guess it's Waleed. Turning away, I caught a note on the blackboard. I'm not taking out the trash anymore. I'm not taking out the trash anymore. Please learn to do it yourselves. Jeff. Me neither. Me neither. Love, Caddy. Just below are a bunch of scribbles that looked like an argument about who could and could not take care of themselves, with different colors of chalk scribbling out each other's sentences. That explained that. I shook my head and began searching the desks in the room. Most were empty, but what the hell is a gun doing in here? Slaughter was written in sparkling silver Sharpie on the side. Is that another? I don't know the hidden block references. I don't know them well enough. Damn it. I'm just gonna die in here. I just am. Leaving the desk behind, I crept my way through the cabinets at the back of the room. Old candy wrappers, several obscure alternative music CDs, a set of extremely expensive looking microphones and headphones. An old notebook? Is that Youngtown stuff? I took it and flipped through the first few pages. Inside were cartoons drawn in thick ink. Milkamon, pink ball of fluff, anthropomorphized rocks?
Hey!
These aren't half bad. But nowhere did I see reference to the boots. Sighing, I reached to put the book back in the cabinet, but not before scribbling a small image of my face on one of the pages. They wouldn't suspect me. Why would I out myself by drawing my own face? All this sneaking around was getting to me. I was becoming a rebel, a bad seed. There was nothing else I could do. There was nothing else I found that could possibly lead me to the boots. I closed the window and left the room, sighing with relief when I shut the door. The window might have been open, but that hadn't stopped the smell. How in the world did those boys live like that? No, knowing them, winning the fight was more important than being clean. It was a wonder they were all friends with how much they picked on each other. But then that was probably the point. So their lockers must have been right around here too. I stepped on some of my tiptoes, peeking into the slats in front of the lockers. I couldn't open them without Mai's help, but at least I could see what they had in them. As I peered through them, I came up empty. Playmaster games, a hamster wheel, something called an Ian box, a Rulian shield. Their lockers were weird, but there was no sign of the boots. As I headed back to the dorm, my heart sank. It wasn't the Hidden Block Club. Really, that should make me happy. It should be good that they were true friends of the Normal Boots guys. But they were my only lead, really. Now that I was back to the very beginning, no better off than I was before. I climbed to my room with heavy steps. It was already 1 a.m. I had no idea how much time had passed. I changed my pajamas and stumbled into bed. Great, how worthless was I? I stared at the book in front of me. I was supposed to be reading, following along with what Miss Shizuka was saying. Miss Mizuno is my name. Why would I call the teacher that? Instead, I yawned. The words blurred together in front of me, talking about how a badger made of honey once befriended the 13th cat, Zodiac. What? I had an even harder time getting up this morning. I didn't think just a few days of less sleep would affect me so much, but they definitely did. I yawned again. Surely it wouldn't be I couldn't see Did I just fall asleep in class? Strange images swirled in front of me. The boots, the dent in the locker, Satch. Oh, Satch, I was looking at him in the library. This was back when I told him I was going to help him. He was in such a panic. And now that I was looking at it again, I remember the librarian much more clearly. She was glaring at him so venomously I could feel the heat from where I stood. There was no way she would do anything to wrong him, right? Right? Something shoved into my back as I snapped awake. Feng Shui! Say it! Oh my god, this tongue twister. Feng Shui! Say Feng Shui! Feng Shui? Miss Shizuka, who's staring at me from the front of the class, put her hands on her hips.
Yes.
Yes, the answer is Feng Shui. And what is its purpose? If you place yellow objects in the front of your house, you get more money, and red at the back of the room, people give you stuff? Miss Shizuka squinted at me. While not incorrect, we were talking about the traditional effects of Feng Shui now, Miss Mizuno, not the old country superstitions. Please pay better attention. Yes, ma'am. So will the modern effects be if you put the right color things in the right portions of your house, then when people come to rate your house, you get a better score, which gives you better rewards in the mail, because the higher your score is, the more your rewards are. That's it. It's gotta be a happy house academy, happy room academy, because it's HRA, and that's the whole joke. I sat back down and shot a grateful look at Mai. She nodded to me, face full of concern. I smiled at her and turned back around, hoping that would ease her mind. But as I looked back at my book, I suddenly realized I had no idea what the lesson was even about. Feng Shui, clearly about Feng Shui. Ugh. Hana. What? What happened? I blinked at her. My eyes felt gooey and slow, like they were glued shut. Class is over. Time for lunch.
What?
Already? But did I miss all morning? Mai nodded. I sat up and looked around the classroom. Only a few stragglers remained, jotting down final notes.
Oh, no.
I'm sure you've been really stressed about everything that's happened, but it's not good to fall asleep in class. I know that. It's not like I'm trying to fall asleep. But this was not good. Asagao Academy was a prestigious school. People only got in if they had high academics, lots of money, or were extremely talented in some way. I was none of these things. A scholarship student. I was the way that the school and other students felt better about themselves. If I dragged down the school's image, they'd kick me out without a second thought. I wasn't even sure how I made it here in the first place. It's not your fault if you're having trouble sleeping. Come on, let's go get lunch and not worry about it, yeah? I nodded and stood, feeling somewhat like I was not part of this world. The walls blurred as we headed out of the classroom. Maybe if I touched one, I'd fall right through. We opened the door, almost walked right into John and PBG. Whoa! Oh, God.
Hey,
Hey, we were just coming to get you guys. Wait, you're talking to us again? I glanced from the overly cheery John to PBG, who was avoiding eye contact with me. It's been 3 weeks since they last spoke to us. Maybe I was still asleep. As it was, my brain was moving too slow for me to say anything about it. So the thing is, we want to apologize.
What?
You do? We realized we were being total jerks. We feel terrible about it, or at least I do. It was an honest mistake. People make mistakes all the time. I stared at John's broad face, trying to click together what was happening. You ignored us for 3 weeks and you're saying it was an honest mistake? PBG elbowed John in the side and shot him a look.
no.
Ignore him. He sticks his foot in his mouth so much you'd think it was a lollipop. But we came to invite you to lunch with us again. If you'll still have us, we want to make it up to you somehow, and we missed you. Both of you. That was cute.
I can't believe this.
So you're not suspicious anymore? Well, wow. PBG elbowed in the side again. Okay, sorry, I just thought it'd be funny. No, we're not. We can't speak for the others, but you have our support. My head swam. The frustration of the past 3 weeks, the betrayal, the late night, the tears, the whispers, the judgment, all built up inside of me. Did they want us to just forgive them and let it all go? Maya looked at me, waiting for my decision. It seemed she didn't know what to make of it either. I curled my hands into fists. I didn't even need to think about it.
No.
No! Their faces fell.
What?
What?
No.
No! I'm not doing this again.
Uh,
But, Hana, I'm sorry that we fought for so long. Me too. I want to make it up to you, but I'm still coming over this afternoon, right? Yeah, I'll see you there.
No.
I said no. Get out of my face. Whoa. John glanced from me to PBG, horrified. He laid a hand on PBG's arm, then turned to me. This music's perfect for this. Hana, we're your friends. My stomach cramped painfully. I moved to the wall for support, away from John and PBG. Friends don't treat people this way. You aren't my friends. You were never friends. Ugh. My stomach pulled tightly, and I walked away, heading for the only place I could think of, the nurse's office. Behind me, I heard Mai frantically apologize to John and PBG. I don't know what's... In seconds, her arms were around me, and she was propping me up. Come on, let's get you to the nurse's office. Thank goodness Mai was with me. I wouldn't be able to cross the campus to Iris Hall without her. Okay, this is new. Oh, goodness. The nurse's office. I've actually never... I missed the Let's Play I was watching where they went to the nurse's office, so I've never actually seen this. I think I know who the nurse is, but I don't actually know. Anyway, that's where we're going to end this episode. Oh, that was climactic. That was perfect place to end this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll check you guys in the next video.